Hey everyone, I got a bit of a different video for you today. One of my friends actually rated me in the middle of my stream and then just asked me a question that kind of set off this whole discussion about how I got to where I am today and my casting career, or what games I focused on, and why I was there. And it all started with StarCraft, and I was actually playing StarCraft 1 at the time, so it really was an interesting discussion, and some people were like, hey, you should upload that on YouTube, it's interesting. So feel free to watch it. It's a nice dirty edit, nothing amazing for it, but, you know, enjoy and let me know if you want more stuff about this. I'm actually down to talk about my Blizzard experiences, HGC experiences, things like that, if you guys are all interested. So enjoy! So you got hired to cast Halo and then pivoted over to StarCraft and the Halo stuff flopped? No.
Able to start getting some.
So this whole thing I missed. Like, I knew about StarCraft from my dad. I knew about StarCraft and how cool it was, but I never got into it. So, yeah, I knew about StarCraft and Blizzard in general, because of my dad, right? And I knew, like, World of Warcraft was huge. Warcraft, not Warcrack. Warcraft. But I was a console boy, and I played Halo 3 a lot, and MLG had Halo 3 for money. So, like, that's where I made my money. Like, I worked at a gas station, and then I just played Halo 3 tournaments and just, like, did really well in Kansas and Missouri. And would go to tournaments and get like second and third place and just make money. Like, I would pay like $10 in gas, buy some pizza, and come home with like 100 to 150 bucks, right? From Halo tournaments, and I just did that. And then I went to MLGs, did okay, but like nothing like in terms of money, but in terms of local lands, oh yeah, easy bank. And then MLG got wind of StarCraft 2, and StarCraft 2 took esports by storm. Like, everything that you loved and knew about esports, or at least I knew, like Halo, Shadowrun, Smash Brothers, just wasn't big enough to compete with StarCraft 2. So, StarCraft 2 started taking over MLG, they started putting more resources into it, Blizzard started getting involved, etc. And so, if you wanted to be an MLG, you needed to start paying attention to StarCraft. Like, that was it. So, I started paying attention, I watched Husky, I watched A9, and then I started playing myself. I went and bought a new computer. Played for a couple months and was like, this game is hard. I think I got to like Diamond, like low master, and then I was like, you know what? I'm like not good at this game. I'm not Korean. So I started casting, and that's kind of like where the history was, right? So this whole like phase of StarCraft 1 and Brood War, I missed out on all of that. Day 9 and Husky StarCraft were my introduction into esports casting and what it could be like, right? Fun, lots of energy, enjoyable. It wasn't like boring to me like the other sports that I watched. And I was like, I could do that. And so that's kind of where it began.
Defense is up, get the bunker up.
How the fuck do you just start casting? You just start. Just like anything in life. And then you came to me, yeah, eventually I went to a competition in Vegas. It was called the IPL. You know what? Fuck it, let's get rid of this. Can I... IPL 5 casting. Robin Wonders. Let's see if this pops up. Am I YouTubeable? Casters for IPL 5 announced. So that was IPL 5. Who is Froden? I love this guy. Remember Froden? Oh my god. Froden and I casted every day. We did what's called Play Him Dailies, and we casted together. Robin Tebow! That's me! Oh my god! Holy shit! That's crazy. Yeah, Dan. So Dan's huge in Hearthstone now. He's just massive in TFT, Hearthstone, etc. Froden's one of this guy. He has been around the scene for quite some time, casting multiple events. What is this? Can anyone tell me a bit about Dan Froden Cho's background? The NSL site doesn't do anything. Oh my god, NASL. He's doing great with Greytorb. Greytorb. Oh my god, I remember that guy. Froden's one hell of a sexy guy. He's been around the scene for quite some time, casting multiple events, blah, blah, blah. Why was Robin TiVo up? Oh, let me tell you guys a little bit about Froden. He is a fucking man. Ever since I joined Play Him, he has been like one of the two gay fathers. Robin Wonders, which was me, is the other This guy has one goal in mind when casting, is to make you look better. If you fuck up, he saves you. If you need advice, he will give it to you. In the last 3 months of my casting career, I've grown by far the most, and big part of it because of this guy. He's fucking amazing, Froden. You're awesome. Oh, it's Zoya! And you guys know Zoya, because Zoya wound up going into Temper Storm for Heroes of the Storm. Oh my god. Dude, we kissed once and it was on the cheek and we were drunk. Calm down. What the hell, bro? This is my old Reddit account. Alright, we're not going to look that up, because I don't know what's down there. Anywho, we did Play Him Dailies, we casted StarCraft, we literally, like, I just casted everything I could, right? I just went through and casted everything that I could, and we wound up getting a job with the Playham Dailies. And the Playham Dailies were... This org came in and were like, we have money, we will put down $100 every day for daily tournaments. I think their intention was to try and make an esports team, and it never really came together. But it was a prize pool, and $55, etc. You can play it. And it started out with North American players, a couple of EU players. And then the Koreans got a hold of it and were like, oh, yeah, I'll play on some ping and take some free money every day. They would literally wake up, work out, come beat ass in the Playham Dailies, and walk away with free money. That's what the Koreans did. It was amazing. I think it got to the point where they told the Koreans they couldn't play anymore because they were just stomping everybody. But yeah, we casted those every day, and then there was a IPL 5 caster search. Was it IPL 5 or IPL 6? Ah, there's me, actually. So there was an IPL caster search, and we went through a bracket of like 64 casters, and we had to cast. Kevin Naki was one of the head honchos, and then David Ting, who I have thoughts about, but we'll keep those thoughts out. We're going to hire a new caster for IPL 6. So we were all told to put our videos together. Eventually I made it to the top 4, and the top 4 were invited to IPL 5 to cast live, and whoever did the best was going to be picked up as a caster for IPL. So Ward, great guy. Nathanius, for those that don't know Nathanius, he's still playing StarCraft and a lot of RTSs nowadays. He also went on a similar journey of me, of like wanting to be a caster, working incredibly hard, getting angry at the industry, getting angry at the esports game, getting a little bit toxic for a couple of years, and has came back down to earth. And can, you know, you get invested in shit and you're really kind of angry, and I really relate to him. So now he's like on a whole journey of like being kind and such. Him and I think, were the top 2. Oh, I forgot about Buddha. Oh, shit. Buddha was super fun, dude. This picture is from... This picture is from MLG beta casting. So there was a beta program for MLG, and that was also another way for us to get like good practice and like meaningful matches. And this picture was taken by someone from 4chan, actually, and posted on 4chan, and they nicknamed me the Passion Man. Ramen Passion Man TiVo. See if that comes up at all. Well, it exists regardless. And they use this picture anytime that I casted a match on fucking 4chan. And we're like, the Passion Man's casting, everyone show up. And they would post forum posts about it, because like, I wasn't a very good knowledgeable caster, but I fucking yelled in the mic and I got excited about shit, right? And so that picture just kind of like was around everywhere. 4chan is cursed? It is cursed, and it was always cursed. I didn't know it was cursed. I was a simple Midwest man, and the moment I realized people were excited about me, I was like, thank you, and took them with open arms. And I didn't realize there was tons of like people that had cat anime pictures and weird shit posted all the time. But that's where that picture came from. And then like, here was my cast, and like, I was fucking god awful. I have no idea how I won. I have no idea. Look at this.
Yeah, guys, what is going on? I want to welcome you to a cast for the IPL Cast Research. Guys, I am so fortunate. I am lucky enough to get past top 16. I am now in the top 8. Thank you all those that voted for me, left me comments.
I can't do anymore. Can't do anymore. Here's my secret. I didn't know shit about Terran and Protoss. Nothing. I did everything I could to cast every Zerg game, and I got lucky. They would be like, what do you guys want to pick? And the cool part was, no one else in the top 4 knew how to cast Zerg either. At all. So I got lucky. They'd be like, all right. What they did like drawings. I'm like, all right, you pick this replay, you pick this replay. And nobody would pick the Zerg shit. Nobody. So I got to pick the Zerg shit. And so at least I had some knowledge and some like excitement about it. And I could talk about it a lot, right? So that was good. Okay, sorry. Text from girlfriend. So I lucked into a job. I will not lie to you. But, you know, I was really, really wanting it. I spent days just playing Zerg. Like, if I could have done it better, I would have, like, spent time on Terran and Protoss. But I thought, like, if I could just pop off with my Zerg knowledge, I can make it work. And luckily, when I went to IPL 5, they gave me a cast in the quarterfinals, and it was a fucking ZVZ. Money. Luck is everything in this world. So I did a ZVZ cast and wound up winning the job. So it worked out. But we did that, went to IPL. I worked there for 3 months, and then IPL was shut down. IPL 6 canceled. This was going to be my first official tournament. And so I left Missouri, moved across the United States, and moved to SF, which was way out of my price range. And I was told 3 months later that I wouldn't even get a chance to cast a tournament. I thought my life was over. I thought I was fucked. Luckily, Blizzard came in, and they were like, we like what you're doing. We were doing... What was the show, chat? What was the show called? WCS Today? IPL Play of the Day. We had these 11 years ago. Holy shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin Naki with your IPL
Kevin had a
StarCraft 2 Play of the Day
silky
for
voice,
Wednesday,
bro.
February 27th, 2013. Today,
Silky
we have a match to
voice. What's
see
up,
who
Seth?
makes it
How are
in the
ya?
IPTL contender division between Western Wolves and Quantic Academy. Quantic Academy was down...
So, like, my job was to come in every single morning, stare at all the StarCraft matches for 2 or 3 hours, find all the plays, feed them over to an editor, give a brief recap to Kevin Naki, and then give him the clips so he can learn it, and then do a highlight over this. So he did this for a bit. Those were helpful. That was part of my job. We had the highlights.
Now we have a little bit of...
Where is the WCS Today? Is it gone? Ah, yes! The Twilight Council! That's what it was called. Bro, I was fucking awful at this job. I was like... Back then, I was like, dude, I cannot read teleprompters. Please don't make me read a teleprompter. Give me the guidelines and I will do it. I can do improv all day. And they were like, no, it's better to record it. And it's fucking awful. I'm so nervous. I'm lisping out of my mind. But we like did the daily news. We had to dress up every morning. The audio was trash.
2013.
Like, I have no idea how I stumbled through this stuff and somehow got a job. I don't know how yet, man. Like, I look at it and I would never hire this guy. But we did this for a couple of months, and then they liked what we were doing. In terms of, like, talking about stuff,
and
being
Tim Robin
nerds,
Fraser.
etc. God damn, I need a
tried
haircut.
To wear
Goliath,
a loud
Mr.
tie
Kibbles.
today, but Tim won up me with the shirt.
We had, like, whole plans. We were trying to be the next, like, esports, sports center, all that stuff, you know. I was wearing the weird shit back then, still, too. I loved aggressive colors. I was all about it. So, anywho, IPL went down and under. They were bleeding too much money. Ziff Davis came in and bought IGN and cut 25% of the company to make immediate profit. Good old CEOs. And luckily we had ties with Blizzard, and Blizzard was like, we like what you can do. We think we can hire you in other spots. What else would you like to do? Andrew was very much into StarCraft. He only wanted to do StarCraft. I was secretly playing League on the side a lot. Because League was actually a lot bigger, and it seemed like StarCraft was starting to be folded into, and I kind of liked playing MOBAs. So I heard the wind of Heroes of the Storm, and I was like, I would love to check out your guys' MOBA. And so I got invited down a couple of times. I played a few MOBAs. And played a couple of games of Heroes of the Storm. Fell in love with it. Thought it was a great idea. And applied to be the community manager, and they brought me down and let me be a part of the community manager team. So I worked on that for a couple of years and then moved from there. Look at that face, you can tell he's looking at that League. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I've always had a problem with, like, online people getting frustrated with people who try, you know? Like, I can totally admit that, like, I'm not doing well here. I'm not the best at my game. But, like, at least I'm trying, you know? And people on the internet would just fucking shit on you, and that, like, made me want to get away from StarCraft. Because, like, everyone in StarCraft loved their casters. I think it's still an issue nowadays where, like, there's 4 or 5 casters that are beloved by everybody, and usually it takes a while to get there. Like, you go through your lumps, and then you get to the end, and you become something strong or something good, or you become someone that's worth being hired. But they, like, don't like amateur casters, you know? It was to a point where amateur casters made fun of more than players, you know? And I really struggled with that. So, like, I got in confrontations, which you probably have seen on the stream before, with people who ever fucking mock me. I just can't help myself. And so I was ready to move on to something new, and here's what's wrong wound up being it. And luckily it worked out. But yeah, anywho, how do we get on this subject? Why are we here? What point was I trying to make? So much Christmas casters. Yeah, like StarCraft when it was at its peak was like every time there was a tournament, it wasn't about who was playing at the tournament. It was like who was cast in the tournament. And anytime you miss someone important now, back then it was like Day9, Artosis, Tasteless, In Control, rest in peace. Who else was like big deals? Husky StarCraft, although he didn't like casting competitive tournaments that much. If those guys weren't on the list and then we had any amateur casters that were cheaper, Total Biscuit was an absolute must, yes. Loco wasn't big when I was growing up. He was still a player. I think he was still like a baby player, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. I'll be honest with you, like, when I was casting StarCraft, and this is part of my problem of being a caster, is like I had like players that I loved and I watched every single one of their games, and I did a really poor job of watching other players, you know? I would just watch the games when I was forced to cast them. I didn't go out of my way to research them, which I think really hurt me. So like people like Loco and whatnot, I didn't really know who they were, you know? Rotterdam was a big deal. Rotterdam was on his way up because NASAL came out and it was Rotterdam. Oh god, Mr. Bitter. Mr. Bitter I loved as a caster, by the way. I think he was like undervalued as a caster, and then Frodan were the NASAL ones. But yeah, Total Biscuit was a big deal. Another person, rest in peace, man. Total Biscuit, the only interaction I had with him, he was actually, well, I had like outside interactions with him, but the only casting interaction I had with him is I was casting a match of one of his players because he started an esport tournament, and there was a map called something Vestige, and I would pronounce it Vestige. You know how I do. I just pronounce shit how I want to pronounce them. It's whatever. And Total Biscuit added me, and he was like, Vestige. Vestige. And Total Biscuit is like such a hard ass for words, or was a hard ass for words, because he was like a very well-spoken person. And so like, I don't know, that one like... that one really got to me. I was like, alright, if Total Biscuit's calling me out, I better try to adjust that one. But yeah, that's that. Anywho, I don't know how we got there, but we got there out of nowhere. You're old was the point. Oh yeah, I'm old. That was the point. Love that we got there, and we sure did. Yep, eventually I went down to IPL, or not IPL, Blizzard. A nervous, trembling TrikSlyr with doubts in my mind, and Mr. Nathanius, also known as Seeker, also known as Spirian, taught me a lot. I was a shitty writer. My god. I like... everything that I do in life, I just do quick and dirty, and I learn from it and try to evolve, and that was not the Blizzard way at the time. It was the IPL way, which I think is probably why I got hired. Because you can, as long as you keep improving that, we're good. But Spirian would have to read every goddamn thing I wrote. Every blog post, every interaction I had, he would have to look through them and be like, yo, we can fix this trick. Yeah, this can work. I remember one day you like sat me down across from a computer chair and you were like, hey man, this is some good stuff, like really good stuff. Just be in your nice, kind boy way. You're like, this is good. But this is what I call like speak writing, where people write how they speak. And that doesn't work for blog posts. So I went ahead and fixed it. Here's yours. And then he brought up what he wrote. It literally had nothing of what I said.